Hello Capricorn, welcome to this reading. So Jupiter moves into Aries on May 11th, and it will be there for basically an entire year until May 16th, 2023. It will pop back into Aries, or excuse me, go back into Pisces around October 28th. And I have a full schedule of how Jupiter will be moving in the description below. So you can read that for your own education. But overall, this transit feels like it could be very good. I have a very good intuition about this Jupiter transit, and so I felt inspired to make a series of readings on this upcoming Jupiter transit. So let's go ahead, and we've already got our first card here. Let's go ahead and pull some fortune cookie cards. Jupiter is the planet of luck and fortune, expansion. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what we have here. All right, so you have jealousy. Watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. So I feel like that's just a good message in general. If you have an intuition about somebody's energy and the energy that they're putting towards you, I'd trust your intuition over the next, during this transit. You also have luck. A sudden change of luck is likely. Things are working in your favor. Excellent time for networking. Love to see that. And then you also have, wow, reinvent yourself. A transformation is taking place. Enjoy a new lease of life. So big changes here coming in for Capricorn. With that jealousy energy, it's almost like someone's going to see you turn your life around. And I do wonder if maybe there's a little bit of jealousy or envy type of energy here that may be happening as you go through this change. That phrase glow up, I don't really use that phrase much, but the phrase glow up is coming in. It's almost like some of you are glowing up at this time, and somebody's going to maybe try to, impart their jealous energy on you. But let's dive into that a little bit more before I can confidently say that. So I am using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. If you are interested in this deck, there is a link to that in the description below. I'll also be using the Psychic Tarot. There are links to everything in the description below, but let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now, you know the drill. The only way this channel continues growing is if you hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps with the growth of the channel, but more importantly, it helps get the message out to people who may need to hear it. So please do consider doing that to help me out. So, all right, let's see what we have here. Make sure everything is in view, and then we'll get right into it. That looks good. All right. Energy on the bottom. You have the Tower. So, you know what, Capricorn? I like to see this for you. And the reason being is we need to really reframe our perspective of what Tower moments mean in the tarot. Of course, in life, we have upheavals. We have challenges, we have changes, we have difficulties, we have unexpected, surprising events that happen. And that's really what the Tower is. But if you really go back and you think about it, almost all of the time, those events eventually, first of all, not only do those events eventually pass you by, but in the tarot, the Tower always leads us to the path of the star. And so the reality is sometimes in order to rise, we have to fall. In order for this tower to be rebuilt, it has to collapse. And the reality is that this tower is not a great tower anyway. You know why? Because there are no doors on the tower. And so these people falling, they didn't have a way out. This tower was not built properly. And so in order for this tower to be rebuilt in a better way, it must fall. And really what I feel like what's going on here with this is just this idea of you reinventing yourself. I feel like something is you're going to come to some sort of profound understanding here over the next year and during this transit, and you're like, okay, actually, I know what I need to do from here. And you may see yourself taking the steps to make big changes here, where it's almost like, if you and I check in next year, May 16th, it'll be a completely different Capricorn. That's kind of what I'm feeling is coming in for some of you here. in the middle card in your overall situation, you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is an incredible card. So the Ace of Pentacles brings about a new beginning in the material side of life. So this could be relating to money, it could be relating to finances, it could be relating to the place that you live, the home environment, it can be around academia, but you can see the universe is handing a pentacle out, right? And so this can see you like taking a new job, or making an investment. It can see you cashing in on an investment. It's also a major energy of like, it's more about, less about jobs, but more about like this is a card that's very heavily associated with contracts, signing off on documents, paperwork, doing all those sorts of things, which you have to do paperwork, you have to do documentation when you get a house, when you sell a house, when you get a job, when you change jobs, when you buy a car, all of those sorts of things, right? And so it's like that type of energy here with the Ace of Pentacles. And while nobody wants to do paperwork all day, it is a necessary part, and ultimately it does lead you to the thing that you want, right? You have to do that in order to get the thing that you want, right? And so it's kind of those sides of life. And so it's amazing because I'll be interested to see what this could be for you. I feel like for some people, I don't know if this is about love. I think this is probably more about, you going under a major transformation here. Let me get into this a little bit more. So you have the Five of Cups, you have the Death card, and you have the Strength card. So you have this Death card. I'm really not surprised at all to see it. Now you have these two really misunderstood cards in the tarot with the Death card and the Tower. I've explained the Tower already. The Death card, if you've watched my readings before, again, this is not something to be afraid of. This is not about death and dying. This is about you going through a transformation in your life, okay? This is about you going through a rebirth. And really, I always like to say it's like going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Reinventing yourself. The Death card in this case, this is about rebirth, right? This is about a new you being born here. And I think that is coming in very strongly for you, especially as we have this Strength energy, which, it takes courage to make big changes in our lives. And there is no doubt about it, to get in a reading where you have the Death energy and you also have the Tower energy, this is not something small, okay? This is not something small at all. This is big. And it takes courage to do that and to make those changes here. You have the Strength card, which is about courage, and it's about bravery. You can see that this person's literally hugging a lion. Who would do that, right? Who has the strength and the courage to hug a lion? This person does. You do, right? And you have the strength to make this big transformation, is what I'm feeling. You have this Five of Cups here as well, which the Five of Cups is about disappointment, but you're ready to let go of those, okay? And I feel like instead of having your back turned towards these cups that are upright, you're going to have your back turned towards these cups that are spilled, that are empty, that are broken, that are no longer serving you. Five of Cups really does suggest that it may be time for you to look on the bright side. And whatever situation is changing for you here with the Tower and the Death card, and trust me, there will be changes for you here. Whatever situation is changing, know that it's bringing this new start here with this Pentacles card in the middle, this Ace of Pentacles energy. Now, in the middle, you have the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Temperance card. So, definitely also like to see this. So you have these double fives here. So this upper row is the row of your thoughts. And, there is something here showing up. The fact that you have both of these in the thoughts row, there's something around self-limiting beliefs, I feel like. When I get the Five of Pentacles in the upper row, it's less about losing money and it's more about your mindset being turned toward, it's like you've turned the dial in your mind towards loss instead of turning your dial towards abundance. And so some of you are maybe wanting to turn the dial in a different way here. And I get the sense that this is something that you're going to be taking some time to do. In this next year here, in this transit. You have this Ace of Pentacles, and in fact what could happen is you have a healing offer or a healing invitation here with the Ace of Pentacles and this Temperance card. Temperance card is a major card of healing. You can see the healing water here that they are dipping their toe in. You can also see that they're creating alchemy between the two cups, balancing out your fire and your water. The sun in the distance, indicating that things are looking up for you, which, by the way, you have the sun, which is an incredible sign. It's a very good sign to see. And the Temperance card really says that your situation is turning around. Note that the Death card is number 13. The Temperance card is number 14. The Temperance card comes after the Death card to give yourself a period for you to be able to or to recover from a major transformation, or to turn your situation around after something has changed. And so for some of you here, this is big with the Ace of Pentacles in the middle as well. In the future, you have the Two of Pentacles, you have the Sun, and you have the Three of Swords. So this Sun card is very important, and you can see the Sun in the background here on this Temperance card, but you also have the literal Sun card, which is my favorite card to find, or I should say my best card to find in a tarot reading. This is about total victory, abundance, expression, right? Look at this carefree energy here. This is somebody who really has no care in the world, and they are, living their best life, if you will. And, this is an energy that really augments any positive cards around it and negates any negative cards around it. And so you have this Three of Swords energy here, which some of you are really moving past this period of heartbreak, this period of challenge, this period of, where things may not have been working. This is about to change for some of you here with the Sun's influence. It's also a card of truth. The Sun asks you to put the facts on the table. Is there a truth, an important truth that's coming to light here with the Tower and the Death card? There's no room for denying what is happening. You cannot deny a Tower moment. A Tower moment just happens. And the truth, the Sun asks you to take a look at the truth of the situation, and you can have extreme healing from this transit at this time. And then you also have this Two of Pentacles here as well, which is about juggling or fluctuating wealth. It can bring changes in your financial situation, especially as you have this Ace of Pentacles here. And it's almost like for some of you, this has not been easy. This has not come easy, but it may start to come easy for you here as you make some changes and you listen to the truth of a situation. Let's go ahead and see what oracle cards we have here. Let's go ahead and get a few messages from the Psychic Tarot, please. Let's get at least 4 cards. Okay, so you have partnerships and alliances as well as authority. Let's get at least 2 more cards here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Capricorn. You also had this card which fell onto the ground. So you have partnerships and alliances, authority, light, and passion ignited. So this is the Three of Wands, the Emperor, the Sun again, which to get the Sun twice in a tarot reading is amazing. And then you have the Ace of Wands. So I can't stress enough, the Sun is, think about it this way. The planets revolve around the Sun, okay? If you take all of the power of the Sun and then you put it into a tarot card, that's what you have. Like, you have strength, you have power, you have, the sun, the light guiding you in a new direction here. This is around a change. This is around potentially for some of you an upheaval. And I'm not telling you to not, feel all of the emotions, because change is scary. But at the same time, this is something that is really turning your situation around. You have my favorite oracle card in this oracle deck, Accelerated Motion, on the bottom, which is the Eight of Wands. Take a look. This person's seeing a shooting star. If you don't know this, shooting stars contain spiritual information. You could call them light codes. And it's almost like for some of you here, you're on this big journey. And it's like almost like through the ashes, through the changes, you are getting a new understanding. You're getting some spiritual information about where to go, how to handle a situation. Passion ignited, Ace of Wands can bring a passionate new beginning into your life, especially like this because you have the Ace of Pentacles with it. This could see you starting a business, which You know, if some of you have been thinking about doing this, you may find the confidence and the courage here with the Strength card to do that. We've talked at length about the Sun card. You have the Partnerships and Alliances, which is the Three of Wands. This can obviously see you buddying up with people, partnering with people to bring something into existence, but it can also be a card of adventure as well, and a card of taking something to the next level, which again, some of you may have a talent or a hobby or something like that, a passion that you can use to create a really nice business for yourself. And then lastly here you have this Authority card, which is the Emperor. Emperor is an incredible card defined in business context because this person has the energy of a boss. This person has the energy of leadership. It's an incredibly good card. So this is what I have here for you. I would get excited if I were you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next reading.